My friends, I want to tell you something very simple today. You don't need to work 20 hours a day to change your life. You only need 2 hours, but these 2 hours must belong to you. Most people say, I don't have time. That's not true. You have time for social media, time for Netflix, time for gossip, but you don't have 2 hours for yourself? That's an excuse. When I was young, I wasted a lot of time. Later, I realized if every day I just gave myself 2 hours to learn, to think, to plan, my life would be completely different. And it was. Use those 2 hours to read, to learn a new skill, to improve your mind, or to reflect on your mistakes. Don't just complain about problems. Sit down and think, what can I do better tomorrow? 2 hours a day may not look powerful today, but after 1 year, after 5 years, you will be unrecognizable. Let me tell you, success is not about being lucky. Success is about building habits. You cannot change your life in 1 day, but you can change 2 hours every day, and these 2 hours will slowly change your mind, your habits, and finally your future. So, stop saying you have no time. Stop waiting for motivation. Take 2 hours today, protect them, and use them to invest in yourself. One day, you will thank yourself for this small but powerful decision. Remember, discipline is hard, but regret is harder. Choose discipline for 2 hours a day, and you will shift your entire life. Many people fail in life, not because they are not smart, not because they don't have opportunities, but because they rely only on motivation. Motivation is like fire. In the morning, you feel excited, you feel ready to do everything, but in the evening that fire is gone. Tomorrow you need new motivation again. That is why people read quotes, watch videos, listen to speeches every day, but still their life does not change. Motivation can inspire you, but it cannot carry you for long. Discipline is different. Discipline is when you do what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is when you wake up early, even if your body wants to sleep more. Discipline is when you read that book, even when your friends are watching TV. Discipline is when you go to the gym, even when your mood is bad. Motivation is based on feelings. Discipline is based on decision. Think about students. On the first day of class, everybody feels motivated. They buy new notebooks. They promise to study hard. They feel excited. But after 2 weeks, the excitement is gone. Only a few students keep studying every day. Those are the disciplined ones, and they are the ones who pass the exam. The others wait for motivation to come back, but it doesn't. Discipline beats motivation because discipline gives you consistency. Success does not come from what you do once in a while. Success comes from what you do every single day. If you only act when you feel motivated, you will work hard for 2 days, then rest for 5 days. But if you have discipline, you will work hard for 7 days. The result will be completely different. Motivation is good for starting, but discipline is good for finishing. Imagine running a marathon. At the beginning, everybody runs fast. They feel motivated by the crowd, the music, the energy. But after 10 kilometers, most of them slow down. Why? Because motivation is gone. The ones who finish the marathon are not the most excited ones at the start. They are the disciplined ones who keep running step by step, even when their legs hurt, even when nobody is cheering anymore. Discipline is also a habit. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. At first, it is very difficult. Waking up early feels like punishment. Reading instead of watching TV feels boring. Working when you are tired feels impossible. But if you push yourself every day, slowly your mind and body adapt. One day, waking up early will feel normal. Reading will feel natural. Working hard will feel like part of your life. That is when discipline becomes your power. People often say, I need motivation to start. But the truth is, you don't need motivation. You need a schedule. If your schedule says wake up at 6 a.m., then you wake up at 6 a.m., no matter how you feel. If your schedule says work for 2 hours, then you work for 2 hours, no matter if you are inspired or not. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not that successful people feel motivated every day. The difference is that successful people follow discipline every day, even on bad days. Discipline also creates freedom. Many think discipline is a prison. They think it limits their life. But actually, discipline sets you free. If you are disciplined with your money, you will not be trapped in debt. If you are disciplined with your health, you will not be trapped in sickness. If you are disciplined with your time, you will not be trapped in regret. Motivation gives you excitement, but discipline gives you results. Small habits can create very big results. Most of the time, people think success is about one big opportunity, one big decision, one big change in life. They think one day they will suddenly get lucky and everything will turn around. But in reality, life does not change in one day. Life changes little by little through the habits you repeat every single day. Think about a drop of water. One drop looks like nothing. It is so small, so weak, that you may laugh at it. But if a drop of water keeps falling on the same rock every day, after many years, that rock will break. Not because the water is strong, but because it is consistent. Your habits work in the same way. Reading 10 pages a day looks like nothing. Exercising for 20 minutes looks like nothing. Saving just a small amount of money looks like nothing. But if you do it every day, after 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, the result will shock you. Small habits are powerful because they are easy to do. You don't need special talent. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You just need to start with something small. The problem is, because they are small, people also ignore them. They say, "What's the point of reading just 10 minutes? What's the point of walking just 15 minutes? What's the point of saving only $1? The point is not the size today, the point is the growth tomorrow. Let's take an example. Imagine you drink 1 can of soda every day. It looks small, it feels harmless. But after 1 year, that's 365 cans of sugar. Slowly, your health changes. On the other hand, if you replace that soda with water every day, it also looks small. But after 1 year, your body feels completely different. That's the power of small habits. They don't look important today, but they shape your future silently. Another example is learning a new skill. Many young people say, "I want to learn English, I want to learn coding, I want to learn public speaking." They wait for the right time. They want to study for 3 hours every day, but because they cannot, they do nothing. The truth is, if you just practice 15 minutes a day, in 1 year you already become much better. Small habits compound. Just like money grows with interest, your habits grow with time. Small habits also build discipline. When you keep a small promise to yourself every day, you slowly build trust with yourself. You prove that you can depend on you. That confidence becomes the foundation for bigger challenges. If you cannot do small things regularly, how can you do big things consistently? Success is not built on intensity. Success is built on consistency. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't brush for 1 hour in 1 day and then stop for a year. You brush a few minutes every day. That's why your teeth stay healthy. In the same way, success is not about one big effort one time. It's about small efforts every day. Many people are waiting for the big moment, but the truth is, your big moment is hidden inside your small habits. One of the biggest problems today is not that people don't work hard, it's that people don't know how to focus. You may sit in front of a computer for 10 hours, but if your mind is jumping from one thing to another every minute, the result is worse than 2 hours of real focus. Focus time is the most valuable habit you can build because the quality of your work always beats the number of hours you spend. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Your phone rings, notifications pop up, emails keep coming, and social media never stops. You sit down to do something important, but after 5 minutes you are already scrolling, already checking messages, already losing your attention. Many people spend their whole day busy, but at the end they ask themselves, "What did I actually finish?" That is the cost of not protecting your focus time. Focus time means you give yourself a fixed block of time where you do only one thing and nothing else. Not 2 things, not 3 things, only one. If you are reading, you read. If you are writing, you write. If you are practicing, you practice. No distractions, no multitasking, no jumping around. One thing, complete attention. That is when your brain works at its highest level. Think about a magnifying glass. If you move it around quickly under the sun, nothing happens. But if you hold it still in one place, the sunlight becomes strong enough to burn paper. Your attention is the same. Scattered attention is weak. Focused attention is powerful. 2 hours of real focus can achieve more than 10 hours of scattered work. Some of the most successful people are not smarter than you, but they know how to use focus time. They block their day. They say, from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., I will only work on this task. They turn off their phones, they close the door, and they give their full energy to that one thing. After those 2 hours, they achieve what takes others a whole day. The problem is, people are addicted to distractions. They think multitasking makes them productive. They reply to emails while watching TV. They check their phone while studying. They talk while working. But multitasking only makes you slower, and the quality of your work suffers. Focus time teaches you that deep work is the real secret of progress. Even students can use focus time. If you study for 2 hours with full attention, no phone, no internet, you learn more than a whole day of half studying and half chatting with friends. For professionals, 1 block of focused work in the morning can create ideas, solutions, and results that change their whole career. Focus time also gives peace to your mind. When you do one thing with full attention, you feel calmer, more in control, and less stressed. When you jump between many things, your brain gets tired quickly. That is why after a day of distractions, you feel exhausted but not accomplished. True rest comes after true focus, because you know you have finished something valuable. Focus is also about saying no. To focus on one thing, you must say no to 100 other things. Many people fail because they try to do everything. They don't choose, they don't prioritize, they don't focus. But when you commit your full energy to one task at a time, your growth becomes unstoppable. One of the biggest mistakes people make is spending all their time and energy working for others, but forgetting to work for themselves. They run for money, they run for jobs, they run for short-term rewards, but they do not stop and ask, am I investing in myself? The truth is, the best investment you will ever make is not in the stock market, not in real estate, not in business, but in yourself. Self-investment means giving time, effort, and resources to improve your own value. When you make yourself more valuable, opportunities will chase you. When you neglect yourself, even if opportunities come, you are not ready. Many people say, I will invest in myself when I have more money, when I have more time, when I have more success. But that thinking is wrong. You must invest in yourself first, and success will come later. One of the simplest forms of self-investment is learning. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every lesson you master adds to your value. Imagine reading just 30 minutes a day. In 1 year, you finish more than 20 books. Those books give you new ideas, new perspectives, new tools. When challenges come, you are better prepared than the person who wasted all that time. Self-investment is also about your skills. The world is changing very fast. What you know today may not be useful tomorrow. If you stop learning, you stop growing. Technology, communication, leadership, creativity, these are skills that never lose value. If you spend time learning them now, you will always have a place in the future. If you only depend on what you already know, one day you will be replaced by someone who kept learning. Health is another part of self-investment. What is the point of success if your body cannot carry you? Many people sacrifice their health for money, then later they spend all their money to fix their health. That is not smart. Taking care of your body through small habits like exercise, proper sleep, and good food is also an investment. A healthy body gives you the energy to chase your dreams. Self-investment also means building discipline and mindset. The books you read, the people you spend time with, the conversations you have, all shape your thinking. If you surround yourself with negative people, your mind becomes negative. If you surround yourself with people who push you higher, your mind grows stronger. Every choice you make about what you feed your brain is an investment in your future thinking. Many people complain they don't get opportunities. But opportunities are not given, they are attracted. When you invest in yourself, you naturally attract better jobs, better people, better results. Imagine two people with the same background. One spends his free time watching entertainment, the other spends his free time learning, practicing, and building. After 1 year, after 5 years, their lives are completely different. That difference is not luck. That difference is self-investment. Even money spent on self-investment is never wasted. If you spend on books, courses, mentors, or training, it may look expensive today, but the return is always bigger in the future. The same way you invest in a business to grow profit, you invest in yourself to grow ability. Businesses can fail, money can be lost, but skills, knowledge, and mindset stay with you forever. Most people are always moving forward, always running, always busy. They finish one task and immediately start another. They chase one goal and then quickly jump to the next. But very few stop to ask themselves, what did I learn today? What mistake did I make? What can I do better tomorrow? This is why reflection matters. Without reflection, you are only repeating the same actions without growing. With reflection, you learn faster, you improve faster, and you avoid repeating the same mistakes. Reflection is the habit of looking back at your day, your week, or even your life and asking, what happened? Why did it happen? What can I do differently next time? Many people don't like to look back because they are afraid of their mistakes. They think reflecting means feeling guilty or blaming themselves. But reflection is not about punishment. Reflection is about learning. Think about students in school. If you take an exam and never look at the mistakes, you will fail the same way again in the next test. But if you review the questions you got wrong, you understand where you went wrong and you prepare better. Life works the same way. If you never reflect, you will keep failing in the same way. But if you reflect, every failure becomes a teacher. Reflection also gives you clarity. Many times when you are busy, you don't see clearly. You act out of emotion, you react quickly, and later you wonder if you did the right thing. When you reflect, you step back, you slow down, you see the bigger picture. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Without reflection, experience is just repetition. With reflection, experience becomes insight. Even in business, reflection is the key. Every great company spends time analyzing their results. After a project, they ask, what went well? What went wrong? What can we improve? Without that, the same problems happen again and again. For individuals, reflection can be as simple as writing in a journal every night. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What mistake did I make? What lesson did I learn? These small questions shape your future decisions. Reflection also builds humility. When you reflect, you admit you are not perfect. You accept that you can make mistakes. Many people are afraid to reflect because they don't want to face their weaknesses. But the truth is, hiding from your weaknesses doesn't make you strong. Facing them, learning from them, and improving makes you strong. Reflection is not a weakness. Reflection is courage. It also helps you appreciate your progress. Sometimes you feel stuck because you only look at how far you still have to go. But when you reflect, you also see how far you have already come. You realize the small wins you achieved, the challenges you overcame, the improvements you made. That gives you confidence to keep moving forward. Reflection can even save time. When you keep repeating the same mistakes, you waste energy. But when you take a few minutes to reflect, you save years of repeating failures. A few minutes of reflection can prevent a lifetime of regret. Many successful people spend more time thinking than doing because they know 1 hour of reflection can guide 1,000 hours of action. One of the biggest reasons people fail is not because they don't have talent, not because they don't have opportunities, but because they always have excuses. They say, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have support, I don't have luck. But the truth is, everybody has problems, everybody has difficulties. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is simple. Successful people find solutions, unsuccessful people find excuses. Excuses are very dangerous because they feel comfortable. When you make an excuse, you don't feel guilty. You tell yourself, it's not my fault, it's because of this or that. But every excuse you make today becomes a wall that blocks your future tomorrow. The more excuses you make, the smaller your world becomes. When I was young, I made many excuses. I told myself, I am poor, I have no connections, my English is bad, my grades are low. But one day I realized none of these excuses will change my life. If I want a better life, I must stop talking and start acting. Excuses don't solve problems, action does. Many people wait for the perfect conditions. They say, I will start when I have more money. I will try when I have more time. I will work when someone supports me. But perfect conditions never come. There is always something missing, always some difficulty. If you wait until everything is perfect, you will wait forever. The best time to start is always now. Think about students. Some students don't study and say, the teacher is not good. Others say, the books are too hard. Others say, I am not smart enough. These are excuses. But the students who succeed are the ones who say, the teacher is not perfect, but I can find other resources. The books are hard, but I can study slowly. I may not be smart, but I can be consistent. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create better conditions through effort. Excuses also destroy discipline. When you say, I am too tired, I am too busy, I will do it tomorrow, you are training your brain to accept weakness. Every time you give an excuse, you make it easier to give another one. Soon, excuses become habits, and habits become your destiny. If you can train yourself to stop making excuses, you also train yourself to be disciplined, strong, and reliable. Life is never fair. Some people are born rich, some are born poor. Some have strong networks, some are completely alone. Some get chances early, some get rejected many times. But life is not about fairness. Life is about choices. You cannot control where you start, but you can control whether you make excuses or you make progress. Even in business, excuses destroy opportunities. Entrepreneurs who fail often say, the market was too difficult, the investors were not supportive, the competition was too strong. But those who succeed face the same problems and still find a way. The difference is not in the problem, the difference is in the response. Excuses are easy, but they give you nothing. Action is hard, but it gives you everything. If you always have a reason why you cannot do something, you will never do anything. If you stop giving reasons and start giving results, your life changes completely. Success is not built in one day, and it is not built from one big effort. Success comes from building momentum step by step, day by day. Momentum is the invisible force that keeps you moving forward, even when you feel tired, even when the road is long. Once momentum is created, it becomes your biggest advantage because small actions turn into unstoppable progress over time. Momentum is like pushing a car. At the beginning, it feels impossible. The car is heavy and every push feels like nothing is moving. But if you keep pushing, slowly the car begins to roll. Once it starts rolling, every push becomes easier. At some point, the car moves by itself, and you only need a little effort to keep it going. That is the power of momentum. In life, your goals work the same way. At the start, it feels very difficult, but if you stay consistent, one day you realize things are moving faster and easier. Most people fail not because they cannot succeed, but because they stop before momentum is built. They start something for 1 week, then they quit. They go to the gym for a month, then they stop. They work hard on a project for a short time, then they give up when results don't come quickly. They restart again later, but every time they stop, they go back to zero. They never build momentum, and that is why they never see big results. Momentum is created by consistency. Even small steps matter if you take them every day. Reading 10 pages daily does not feel big, but after 1 year, you finish several books. Saving a small amount of money every month does not feel impressive, but after years, it becomes a strong foundation. Practicing a skill for just 20 minutes daily may look small, but after months, you become much better than those who do nothing. Every small action is like pushing the car forward, and slowly momentum takes over. The secret to building momentum is not speed, it is direction. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to move in the right direction consistently. One step a day in the right direction will take you further than running fast, but changing directions every week. Many people waste energy starting and stopping, changing goals too often. Momentum comes from choosing one goal and giving it steady effort until the results compound. Momentum also gives you confidence. When you look back and see the progress you already made, it motivates you to continue. Imagine you are running and you look behind to see the distance you have covered. That energy pushes you forward. Without momentum, every day feels like starting over. With momentum, every day feels like building on yesterday's success. Another important point is that momentum attracts opportunities. When you are moving forward, people notice you. Doors open, support comes, and resources appear. When you are standing still, nothing happens. Many times, success looks like luck, but in reality, it is momentum. People who keep moving create their own luck because movement creates visibility and visibility creates chances. Momentum also protects you during hard times. When difficulties come, if you already have strong momentum, you can keep going. Just like a train that is moving fast can cross obstacles that would stop a train moving slowly. If you build momentum in your work, in your learning, in your habits, even bad days cannot stop you completely. You slow down maybe, but you don't stop because the momentum carries you forward. Everyone says they are busy. Everyone says they don't have enough time. But the truth is, the difference is not how many hours you have. The difference is how you use them. Every person in this world has 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. Some people use those hours to grow, while others waste them and then complain. That is why protecting your time is one of the most important habits you can build. Protecting time means choosing a specific block of time in your day and treating it like gold. This time is not for entertainment, not for gossip, not for meaningless activities, but for you and your growth. It could be 2 hours in the morning, 1 hour at night, or even 30 minutes during lunch. The size of the time is not as important as how you protect it. If you don't protect it, life will take it away from you. Distractions are the biggest thief of time. Your phone, your notifications, your friends calling you out, endless scrolling, unnecessary meetings. These are small things, but they eat away the hours. By the end of the day, you feel exhausted, yet you wonder what you really achieved. Protecting your time means saying no to distractions, saying no to things that don't matter, and saying yes only to what builds your future. Think about money. If you leave your wallet open in a crowded place, someone will take your money. If you leave your time unprotected, the world will steal it from you. People will fill your day with their priorities, their problems, their demands, and you will be left with nothing for yourself. But if you lock your wallet, your money is safe. If you lock your schedule, your time is safe. Protecting time also means being disciplined with yourself. Many people blame others for wasting their time, but often they are the ones wasting it. They say, "I will just check my phone for 5 minutes," and suddenly 1 hour is gone. They say, "I will just rest a little," and suddenly the day is over. If you want to protect your time, you must protect it from yourself first. Self-control is the strongest shield for your time. Even successful people protect their time fiercely. They block hours on their calendar just for thinking, reading, or planning. They treat these hours as non-negotiable, the same way they treat important meetings. Why? Because they know that time spent on themselves gives the highest return. If you spend time growing your skills, strengthening your body, and sharpening your mind, the value of your time increases automatically. Protecting your time also requires making tough choices. You cannot do everything. You cannot please everyone. Every yes you give to one thing is a no to something else. If you say yes to wasting hours on entertainment, you say no to your own growth. If you say yes to unimportant activities, you say no to building your future. Protecting time means learning to say no with confidence. It is also important to communicate your protected time to others. Let your family, friends, and colleagues know that during these hours you are not available. At first, they may not understand. They may think you are too serious or too strict. But over time, they will respect it, and you will respect yourself even more. When you protect your time, you create a space where progress is guaranteed. Even if it is only 1 hour a day, that 1 hour adds up. 1 hour protected every day is 365 hours in a year. That's more than 15 full days of focused work. Imagine how much your life can change if you use those hours wisely. In today's world, the biggest challenge is not lack of opportunities, it is the noise around us. Everywhere you go, you hear noise, from the news, from social media, from people's opinions, from comparisons, from doubts, from fear. Everyone has something to say about what you should do, how you should live, and where you should go. If you listen to every voice, you will be confused, distracted, and paralyzed. That is why you must learn to silence the noise. Noise comes in many forms. Sometimes it is the criticism of others. You want to start something, but people tell you it's too risky, it's too hard, or it's impossible. Sometimes it is comparison. You look at someone else's success online and suddenly feel you are behind. Sometimes it is your own negative thoughts, whispering that you are not good enough, not smart enough, not ready. All of this is noise, and the more you listen, the weaker you become. Silencing the noise does not mean ignoring reality. It means focusing on what truly matters to you. You cannot control what people say, but you can control what you allow into your mind. You cannot stop the world from talking, but you can choose not to be distracted by every voice. Success requires clarity, and clarity only comes when the noise is silenced. Think about an athlete. When they step onto the field, the stadium is full of shouting, cheering, and pressure. But in that moment, they are not hearing the crowd. They are locked in, focused only on their performance. That is how they win. If they start listening to every cheer and every boo, they will lose their concentration. Life works the same way. To win, you must silence the noise and focus on your game. One powerful way to silence the noise is through action. Noise grows louder when you sit still, when you overthink, when you let doubts live in your mind. But when you act, when you take steps toward your goal, the noise begins to fade. Action is the best antidote to doubt. Every small result you create becomes stronger than the opinions around you. Another way is to control your environment. If you spend too much time on social media, you will always hear noise. If you surround yourself with negative people, you will always hear noise. Protect your environment by choosing wisely what you watch, what you read, and who you spend time with. Your mind is like a room. If you allow everyone to walk in and make noise, you will never have peace. But if you close the door and invite only those who support your vision, your room becomes a place of strength. Silencing the noise also requires inner discipline. Your own thoughts can be the loudest noise. Fear, self-doubt, insecurity, these can shout louder than the outside world. You must learn to quiet them by building confidence through small wins. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your voice grows stronger than the negative ones in your head. Every time you follow through, you silence the noise of doubt. Silence is powerful. In silence, you can think clearly. In silence, you can hear your own voice. In silence, you can reconnect with your vision and your purpose. Most people are afraid of silence because they don't know how to sit with themselves. But if you practice silence, even for a few minutes each day, you will discover a strength that noise can never give you. The truth is, the world will never be quiet. The noise will always be there, but you can train yourself to not let it control you. When you silence the noise, you gain the freedom to focus, to act, and to grow. Life is not just about today. Life is also about tomorrow, next year, and 10 years from now. The person you are becoming is just as important as the person you are today. Every choice you make, every habit you build, every sacrifice you accept is shaping your future self. And one day, that future version of you will either thank you or blame you for what you did today. Think about health. If today you choose to eat recklessly, avoid exercise, and ignore your body, 10 years later your future self will suffer. But if today you walk a little more, eat a little better, sleep a little earlier, your future self will be stronger, healthier, and more energetic. Those small daily decisions may not show immediate results, but they accumulate quietly, and one day your future self will be grateful you cared. The same is true in learning. Many people say, "I don't have time to read, I don't have time to study." But the truth is, every page you read, every skill you practice, every bit of knowledge you collect becomes an investment. 5 years from now, when opportunities arrive, your future self will be ready. While others struggle, you will have the preparation. You will look back and thank the version of you who made the effort to learn when it was not easy. Money is another example. If today you spend recklessly, chasing every new trend, buying things to impress others, your future self may face regret. But if you choose discipline, save a little, invest wisely, and control your desires, your future self will enjoy freedom. Imagine having choices, not because you are lucky, but because your past self protected you. That is what financial discipline creates. Even relationships follow the same rule. The kindness you show, the respect you give, the time you invest in people will come back to you later. If today you ignore your family, disrespect your friends, or use people for short-term gains, your future self will be lonely. But if today you nurture connections, listen more, give more, and care more, your future self will be surrounded by trust, loyalty, and love. The problem is, most people think only about immediate comfort. They don't think about their future self. They want to avoid hard work today, so they leave the burden for their future self to carry. But here's the truth: you cannot escape the bill. You can either pay the price of discipline today, or your future self will pay the price of regret tomorrow. Imagine writing a letter to your future self. What do you want it to say? Do you want to write, "I'm sorry I wasted your time. I'm sorry I didn't take care of you. I'm sorry I left you unprepared"? Or do you want to write, "I worked hard for you. I protected you. I invested in you, and now you can enjoy the rewards"? That choice is made every single day. Protecting your time, building habits, showing discipline, learning new skills. These are not just about today. They are about giving a gift to your future self. When you push through difficulties today, your future self will look back and say, "Thank you for not giving up." When you choose growth over comfort today, your future self will say, "Thank you for being brave." When you make sacrifices now, your future self will smile and say, "Thank you for thinking of me." In conclusion, the truth is transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen daily. Success is not about luck. It is about discipline, about the small, consistent actions you take that eventually build the life you dream of. 2 hours may seem small in a day of 24, but those 2 hours invested with focus and commitment can completely shift the direction of your life. When you choose to dedicate 2 hours to growth, whether it is reading, learning, reflecting, creating, or working on your vision, you are telling yourself and the world that you value your future. You are building momentum, sharpening your skills, protecting your focus, and silencing distractions. These 2 hours become the seed that grows into opportunity, confidence, and success. Many people waste hours every day without realizing it. But those who protect this time, who build this habit, eventually rise above. Because success is not about how much you have, it's about how much you give to your own growth. So remember, every day you either invest or waste. The 2-hour habit is your choice to invest, and your future self will thank you for it.